Why I'll Never Be a Professional Organizer, or subtitle, Why Organizing is Harder Than Decluttering. A lot of people think that decluttering is harder than organizing because it feels like you're letting go of so many things. But no, I teach a different way. And so I thought I'd dive into that today. Okay, so everyone assumes that because I help working women create a home that takes care of itself, that I must be a professional organizer, which totally understandable mistake. But today I thought I'd share why I think organizing is so much harder than decluttering and why I use clarity and relationship coaching techniques to then help women achieve the goal of having more time for things other than housework. Ready to dive in? All right. So, in case we're meeting for the very first time, my name is April Bragg, and I am a clarity and relationship coach, and I do help working women create a home that takes care of itself. And my idea is this: not all of us have a desire to be Martha Stewart. That's the guru in my generation, or to have a Pinterest worthy, you know, home life, where, you're all into crafts and you're all into, being the hostess with the mostest. And actually, that might be your goal. But when I'm thinking of this, I'm thinking of about working women who are juggling, trying to, have a meaningful career, trying to raise their kids, have a great relationship with their husband. And those are all big goals. And yet, when you come home, it feels like, oh my goodness, housework seems to take up all my free time. And I just don't think that that has to be anymore. I actually think that that is some leftover thinking that we have from the days when housework did take up all of our time, when, we had to wash things by hand. And I think there are other things that take up our time. And part of it not, is thinking that organizing is the way to a calm home and a better way. And I think that there's not one, but three steps before the organizing bit. Okay. So, why I will never be a professional organizer. I am a coach and a clarity and relationship coach specifically. Um, Number one, organizing is harder than decluttering. So, organizing is all about taking what's already there and then making it, I think, more findable, more useful, more beautiful. And those are great things. So, organizers just take joy. And now I'm not saying that they don't clutter. I believe that they probably do reduce some of the things that are there. Um, but I take the opposite approach. So instead of becoming a professional organizer who works with what is at hand, I believe that we need to back it up a step because I don't think that organizing is the goal per se. I believe that we have purposes bigger than having an organized life or having an organized home. I don't think organization is the goal. I think that organization is a way of saving time so we have more time to give to our goals. All right. So I help clients get clarity on what it is they actually want in their life and then help them to create the home that takes care of itself so that they then have more time to pursue those goals rather than always keeping up with the housework or distracted by, those endless to-do lists. It feels like the laundry's never done. It feels like the dishes are never done. It feels like you just, get everything picked up and you just wake up to a new mess every single day. Yeah, that's got to stop. That is exhausting. And people need to understand that. Okay. So, but decluttering, when it's done the way I teach, teach a declutter and done method. When it's done fully, completely. And what I mean by that is when it's done as in aligned with your purpose, your values, and your priorities. Then it makes most organizing tips redundant. It saves us time, it saves us energy, it saves us money, it saves us space. My philosophy is this: when decluttering is done all the way to the completion point, declutter and done, then things are 80% organized at that point because you just have to put things in a home, declare a home for them. All right. So that's reason number one why I'll never be a professional organizer, because I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on the organizing side. We're going to spend more time on getting clarity about what it is you want, and then decluttering, as in the definition of clutter is anything that's standing in the way of what it is that you want more. So there's just a prioritizing playing at play here. Okay. And then here's reason number two. Most people think they are not, quote, naturally organized. And so what do you need to do? You need to hire a professional. Now, listen, I have a friend who's a professional organizer. She is amazing, amazing, amazing. And if you do need a professional, you need to hire her. You need to talk to her. Contact me. I'll give you her name. Um, Maybe they're not naturally organized. Maybe, maybe not. I think we, and especially we as working women, we live in this day and age when most families have two spouses that are working. Um, we're simply trying to keep track of way too many things than our brains are equipped to manage. We were never designed to keep track of all this stuff. So, adding a complex organizing system to your typical home or business is not the answer to my brain is already trying to take care of too many things. Um, because any organizing system needs to be maintained. I used to be the file clerk at this huge corporation. And it was my job to maintain their organizing system. Fortunately, they set up a very mostly efficient system. We're not going to talk about the times when I found, two people living under the same social security number. Okay, but here's an example. Here's an example of us trying to track too many things, especially in this day and age. Okay. Especially if we are comparing like working women with, you know, years gone by, the stay-at-home mom, you think about that, the June Cleaver staying home and her husband going to work. So even though, here's an example of what I'm talking about. Even though we live in the day of Amazon, same day delivery in some areas. And by the way, I live in one of those areas. It's very exciting. And grocery delivery, food delivery, Uber pickup, all those things. We still have the tendency to keep tons of items in our homes just in case. Well, that just in case used to make sense, but now it doesn't. So when I was around the age of 10 and 11, I started reading organizing books. And I remember specifically that they would recommend buying small gifts ahead of time for like kids' birthday parties or Christmas gifts. And of course, if you're going to buy those things, then you need organizing containers to keep those things sorted. And if you're going to keep those things on hand all the time, because it was such a hassle and so time consuming to run to the store that might be in the next town over, things like that, then it made sense to keep items like that at home. And if you're going to keep items like that at home, then you need to have wrapping paper for items like that. And you need to have cards. And maybe you need to have a wrapping station, wrapping present station. What are those even called? I don't know. Reason number three, well, I'm not a professional organizer. But you definitely need more containers. Okay. But nowadays, the average woman is not living in an isolated town like that. And she is not a full-time stay-at-home mom. And she is not aspiring to be a home manager of that, like all the things. She's actually a career manager as well as a parent, maybe even a caregiver to her parents. And this woman does not need more stuff to organize. That's part of the problem. It makes sense to hang on to things that do save us time, energy, and money. But as we get more conveniences in our life, we can let go of more things. As we have more going on, and as the stores and the systems, Amazon, those things, develop and build out, it allows us to let go of more. We get to outsource. So outsource the storing of your stuff to Amazon until you need it. All right. So that's honestly why I love the convenience of Amazon or grocery pickup or even home appliances that clean while I'm recording a podcast. If I need a gift, then I can shop for it then. And I can also shop for the gift bag then. Listen, I know I am freaking some of my frugally minded audience members out. Just breathe with me for a second, okay? I used to be on the other side of this, where I thought it saved me a lot of money to buy a lot of things ahead of time. And no doubt, I'm going to concede to you, this way does cost a little bit extra, a few extra pennies, but it can also save time and energy and sanity. So the fewer things that we have to organize, the easier it is to organize. That's what I'm saying over and over and over again. And do you want to spend your time storing and managing stuff? Or are there other things that you'd rather do with your time? I know that I'd rather be doing a lot of other things. I'd rather be helping my clients create a home that takes care of itself. I'd rather be spending time with my two kids. I'd rather be spending time with my husband. I'd rather be exercising, in fact, um, which just tells you why I'm not cut out to be a professional organizer. But maybe one of the reasons why you think that you're not naturally good at organizing is because you're just demanding too much of yourself. You know, professional organizers are really, really great at seeing the potential for a space and maximizing it and making the most of it. That is their gift in their wheelhouse. But maybe we all don't need to live that way. All right. So this brings me to the third reason that I'm not a professional organizer, because organizing style is a personal preference. So I think it should be tailored to our lifestyle. Okay, full confession here. I follow the Home Edit on Instagram. Love their videos. They are fascinating. Those women make organizing look so fun and so beautiful. In fact, I recently saw a reel where somebody was organizing their candy drawer. I had to show it to my husband. It was unbelievable. So they opened up like 20 or 30 different bags of candy and decanted them, it's a term, into clear plastic containers with airtight lids. And that all these containers were the same size, and they lined them all up in this big pantry drawer, huge pantry drawer, in fact. And so they had 20 or 30 different kinds of candy, all sitting there ready to be grabbed in a second, moment's notice. They spent all this time. It was beautiful, beautiful display. But, and it was a cool video, it really was. But all I could think was, why in the world would I ever buy 30 types of candy? See, for my personality type, I just don't like that much variety. And I also like to save time. And I also think that sugar is a contribution to all kinds of health illnesses, including cancer. So there's three reasons why I'm not going to spend my Saturday organizing or reorganizing a candy drawer, refilling my candy stock. That is just too much work to upkeep. You know, I like things a lot more simple, efficient. Like I said, there's other things I'd rather do than housework. But you better believe that if I went over to my friend's house and she did have such a drawer, I would admire it. And then I would proceed to help myself to all of the Reese's peanut butter cups that she had there. That is why I don't keep that much candy in my house. All right, there's the real reason I don't have this perfectly organized candy drawer in my home. Okay, the bottom line is this. Maybe organizing is hard. In fact, it is hard, I think, and costly and time consuming. And maybe it's because you haven't clarified what it is that truly matters in your life, as in your purpose, your values, your priorities. And then You haven't decluttered to the step of doneness, as in getting rid of everything that takes time and energy and money away from your highest priorities. And then you haven't created small systems and habits that make maintaining your home possible in just minutes a day. But once you have clarified what it is you want, and once you have decluttered to the point of doneness, and once you have started creating habits and systems to maintain your home in a matter of minutes, when those 3 steps are done, then organizing is already 80% done. That's the beauty. And then the rest of it is all about tailoring to your lifestyle. Because at the end of the day, when you create a home that takes care of itself, it should be taking care of you too. We are not about creating homes that mimic somebody else's needs and somebody else's lifestyle, somebody else's family, somebody else's dreams and desires. We're not even about creating cleaning patterns that would, keep impress my mother-in-law rather than serve me and my family. No, this is all about creating a home that not only takes care of itself, but takes care of us too. And that is a very personalized 4th step. So, organizing is hard when you don't do those 3 steps ahead of time. And organizing does make things more efficient, more useful to find, more beautiful. It does create more space. It can be a little bit costly to implement. You either have to hire a professional, buy a bunch of containers. This is just why I do not recommend that this is the starting place or that this is the goal, is to organize what's already there. I really see it as, no, let's get clear on where it is we're wanting to go in our life. And then let's create a home that supports that journey. All right. So I'll never be a professional organizer, and that's okay. And my friend is, and she's amazing at it. So that is about all I have to say on that subject, unless you have questions. If you have questions, put them in the comments below or contact me on social media. You can find me at April Bragg on Facebook or on Instagram at April Bragg About Life. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Brag About Life podcast and find us on YouTube. All right. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.